would you like to bring up and introduce us to your lovely cast?
Yes, please come up. Gretchen, Johnny, and Alexandra, please come up.
I want to start off by asking you, I think maybe this film will surprise a lot of people for what they know you for, obviously. Where did the inspiration come to do such kind of a solitary portrait?
I've always wanted to make like an Exorcist kind of movie. Exorcist is my favorite horror film. Always wanted to do something like really freaking kind of in your face. And my writing partner, Jamie Nash, came up with the idea of, wouldn't it be cool to have like a possession that somebody videotapes, like a woman videotapes herself going through a possession. So that's where the idea began, and it turned into something else. But I just kind of ran with it, and I don't know where I got the inspiration, but it just turned into this like really kind of dark journey. And I just kind of, I don't know where it came from, honestly. It just kind of came, and then when I found Gretchen and I matched up to the character Molly, most of my work was done at that point, because it was just like, it just, something happened on the set. It was just like this magical thing that just came together.
Well, you show like a remarkable control and restraint in the storytelling, and also in the handling of your actors. How did you find Molly?
Gretchen was, we kind of went back to the Blair Witch kind of template of like going to New York and auditioning non-union talent, like just basically just people, just people that were waiting to be discovered. And we auditioned for a couple of days, and Gretchen came in and read this little monologue that I had written, and I had seen it at least 2 or 3 dozen times that day, and she just completely floored me. And so I was, and she left the room, and I turned to my executive producer, and I was like, I think we may have found Molly there. And then we went to LA and did a little bit more casting, and there's some more established actresses who were interested in the role, including actually Alexandra. But Molly just kept kind of like haunting me, really, her performance. And then she haunted me on the set later. But she just kind of just took me over and took the role of Molly over. And, and I just said, all right, let's just go with Gretchen. And then, luckily, Alexandra, said, well, what about Hannah? Will you, And as soon as I heard that from the agent, I was like, yeah, she would be fantastic as Hannah. Because Alexandra did a great audition, but like Gretchen had just kind of taken over my soul. She had like basically possessed me, so I just couldn't. That's the only person I saw. And then Johnny, I saw his reel, and actually my agent's assistant recommended me. He's like, hey man, there's this guy named Johnny Lewis. You should see his reel, and he gave me the link, and there's just like this natural kind of. There's this natural quality to Johnny's work that just like, endears you to him. And I knew that I needed somebody, like that for Tim. And and luckily he agreed to do it and come out to Maryland and, spend a month with us, so.
Gretchen, Molly's character is, you really kind of gravitate and kind of feel for her. I mean, it's so well written. The fact that like it's a very kind of working class character, automatically you can kind of gravitate to your character. But the transformation throughout the course of the film, how did you prepare yourself for that?
In preparation for it, I went to some institutions, and I went to some rehab centers and stuff, and talked to some different doctors, and acquainted myself with different patient stories, not intimately, obviously, because it's it's private, but as much as I could find out, I sort of studied a few different characters specifically from sort of a wholesome upbringing, or maybe not, to being institutionalized, to whatever, whether they were still institutionalized, whether they were out in the real world, trying to make it work. And the fact that they're real characters was really, I wanted to tell that story. It's something that often gets, shoved to folders and offices, and so it's a dramatic thing that can happen to someone, and then I wanted to tell it in as an honest way as possible. So that was sort of the research that I did.
Do we have any questions from the audience here? Yes, outside.
There are some scenes in there that are just absolutely crazy. And which were the ones, and I'm assuming they were a little ridiculous and they might have been hard to do, like the face fighting or the deer. So which were the ones that were the most ridiculous and hardest for you guys to do together?
The lip fight was pretty ridiculous. It was pretty tough, but I can't speak for the other scenes. The deer one looked pretty intense to me, but Gretchen specifically had to go through so much physically for this. It was cold out there and long hours and really deep commitment to it that it really took to draw that out, So I think I got off pretty easy, actually.
Cool.
I was wondering about the, right towards the beginning of the movie, you go down in the basement in almost like a sub-basement, and there's something that she opens up, and then there's this very elaborate double horse head. It looked like it was deliberate. What was the deal with that?
It's this thing here, it's the logo of the film. The original script had her going back into the shed and pulling over like a piece of plywood, like basically find a place. She found a place with a video camera that nobody would have found unless they knew it was there. And I wanted it to be something, not something that had to do with that firmly placed the movie in the possession world. Like there's something that happened, and there's something that happened in this house that it's just not it's the first clue to the demonic kind of possession. And then we shot it on the set, and the thing that we call it the Baphomet, it's the horse, the two-headed horse thing. It didn't really work, so we went back and somebody carved a nice, really nice kind of relief of it. And then we went back and reshot it. And it just basically tells you that, okay, you're going down, you're just being the first clue that this could be a demonic possession of some kind. That something happened hidden in this house, in this sub-basement, that wasn't right, It just kind of sets that tone, and then kind of puts it aside for a little while until you start hearing the stuff that's in